we're gonna move into the steel fabrication part. I've picked my thickness, 1.5 inches. I feel that's gonna work. I've got some flat strap here that's large enough to hold this, which is gonna be nice. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the width of the wood, which I have 14.5, and I'm gonna take about 1.5 inches off of that. So we're gonna go 13 inches, and we're gonna go 26 inches. Now for this first cut, I'm gonna use a grinder. It's just an angle grinder. These are available everywhere. This is the handiest tool in the shop. They're very cheap. They work wonderful, and they cut. They really cut quite nicely. This little strap here is going to be the part that you drill the holes in. You know, you'll get a hole here and a hole here, hole here and a hole here, maybe a couple holes here, and then the leg is going to kind of sit like this on it, or so. And so let's look at the legs. I know I need these to be about 14 inches. So I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna mark this at 14 inches. Now, what angle do I think I need to cut to get the leg right? So I'm gonna take my square, I'm gonna kind of set it on the ground instead of the thing. How many degrees do I want that to lean? All right, so that's reading about 10 degrees. If I put the angle right about there, that's about a 10-degree angle. So I'm gonna come over to the saw, I'm gonna loosen it. This is very handy. I just got this recently. This is a very handy gadget right here. And for the sake of filming, it's much quieter. So this is going to make this a little bit easier. It's slower than a grinder, but it's much more accurate and easy to use. So now we have the angle in. I kind of like to set it right about like that. Do I want it a little bit steeper? I don't know. Let's look at both angles. Actually, I think that's going to work about perfect. What I like is I'm about 2 inches from the edge down at the base. You know, my 3/4 of an inch I took off plus sitting in about 2 inches. So what I'd like is for the corner to be near the edge of the wood. You can't stick out past the edge of the wood, but it should be near it. So I'm going to cut these other 4. Let's go 14. Let's go 28. Let me cut in these other legs. All right, so now that I've got the basic pieces, let's set the angle. And I kind of like this angle, which it's kind of telling me to be, this is where this is 2-inch flat, and this is kind of how far I can twist it and still have surface contact all the way. I probably want it a little bit closer to the end. So let's come here and make a little mark. Whoop. All right. Let's make our mark across. And how many? That looks like 30 degrees. We're at a 30-degree angle. and it starts an 1.5 inches in. So if I go 1.5 inches, and then I come 30 degrees this way, boom, that's that angle. Is that what it says? Boom, that is what it says. All right, cool. All right, now the next step. Yeah, that's great. All right, for my next act, I'm going to turn on the spark maker. All right, now that I've got that tacked, let's step over and see how it sets. See, I'm out almost to the edge, and I've come this way a little bit to get closer to the edge. I like to see a distance between the legs and the end. I know some furniture makers like them right up out against the edge. I kind of like to play with that a little bit. Oh, if I sit too far over, will it bounce, you know? And luckily it's a nice heavy piece of wood, so it won't, but I like to play with that idea. Challenge people's thought process. All right, now we have the basic shape of the legs taking form, and now we're going to set them. I've got about 32 inches between my marks that I made. So I'm going to come over here to this table, and I'm just going to do exactly that. I'm going to lay out 32 inches on the edge of my table. Whoops. See that? And so what I have here is, I like to set the corner of the work. This little corner here, I like to line it up right on the edge of the table. Because that way I'm sure that it's still in a straight line, but that it also, I did it to the wrong one. I can be sure that it's in a straight line, but I can also be sure that it's, that I'm getting a good bite with the clamp, right? So now I'll take this, my little baby hammer, and I'll square these up. Square. It's on the back point. It's on the back point. All right. Try that one more time. That's a little embarrassing. It'd be awkward if the legs face the wrong way. Okay, good, looks square. All right, so now I'm going to need some kind of spreader system, some sort of stretchers in here.